Hello there, and welcome back to Knights of the Nerd Republic. I am your host, Jared the Dark Jedi Bachman Stubbs, and joining me is one hell of a lineup this week, folks. We got the professor himself, Levi Baum.
Boyo.
That was very existential. I liked it.
Given the circumstances.
We're all recording this remotely on different worlds.
I'm tired and hungry.
The blue shadow virus is ravaging us. We have Darth Id himself, Mike Doling, on the mic.
I had to leave school. They canceled it. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
I am crying.
Mike's upset he can't hang out with monks on a regular basis for a little bit. We have the one and only Spence the Mando Simpson on air.
Is this part? Do I talk now?
Yeah, you talk now.
Oh, hi everybody. Yeah. So sorry that I haven't been able to be on for the last 3 weeks between tour and some other stuff. But I'm glad that we were able to slice in my thoughts from the last couple episodes of the Clone Wars and on Project Luminous. But I'm really pleased to be back on the show via Discord in real time with you this week. So yeah, hi.
Yeah, very happy to have you back on. It's been a hot minute, and this is going to be fun. And engineering this episode, I'm not pulling double duty this week, is one freshly turned 21, Joel the Sentinel Bassenbacon.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I just had way too much to drink last night, but we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Joel's got the shakes. He's been on an 8-day bender, so...
Yeah, it's been interesting.
Quick slice of life, because I know Spencer's on a bit of a time crunch. Levi, how was your week?
They shut down my school. I want my money back. Online classes are so stupid. I might as well just watch a bunch of YouTube videos for my content. This is dumb, honestly. And they send people back to where the coronavirus is. I have friends from Philadelphia.
Oh my god.
And they're in Philadelphia now.
Altoona.
All right,
Yeah.
don't get me started because I will go on a rant about how it's actually a really good tactic. So,
Not for them.
right, but for the millions of other people.
I mean, yeah, on the
whatever.
whole, it is wise to do it, but you're absolutely right, Levi.
It's not here yet.
Yeah, you have the exception of people like that where it's okay, this is a safe zone. Go into the war zone. We are painting you red and putting you in the bullpit.
And what's worse is they told us Thursday, and then they had to be out of here by 5 o'clock Friday.
Well, I don't know what they're doing with your university specifically, but mine, you have the option to stay on campus as long as you like.
You don't have the option, but if you have an emergency, only for if you can't get to anywhere, then they can keep you. But other than that, they want you gone.
You're just sleeping in the basilica. They're just gonna hole you up in there.
It's a beautiful basilica.
Barbed wire outside.
I took a tour on Monday. That was gonna be my actual slice of life before they closed college. Gorgeous basilica.
Closed down
I've never
Hogwarts.
been in all of it. They have a cave. They have a cave inside the basilica.
Yeah, we at one point we
cave.
performed in there. It was a good time. Mike, how was your week, buddy?
Freaking sucked. So I have to leave school.
Wow,
Freaking
it
senior
seems to be
year.
going around.
The glory, the Kleos. I was gonna have it all. I don't know. Winner takes it all. Okay. Yeah, whatever. It sucks. For whatever good, hopefully something will come out of it.
We're just gonna pretend that there isn't a very tall, half-naked man walking through our studio space right now.
Mia, mama, mama, mia.
Mia mama.
Mama, mia.
Yeah, shout out to the Greater Latrobe Senior High on the Mamma Mia.
I heard it was very good. So
yes.
I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited for tonight.
Is it family only?
So
Two
they
people
limited
per
it.
cast
Yeah,
member.
2 people per cast member, and then they're only letting people in at the 250 person max that Governor Wolf suggested.
Wow.
So 2 people per cast member.
It's probably
The rest will be
Oh,
deported to
Techo, there's no way
concentration camps.
Techo and Steel City are happening. Spencer, how was your week, buddy?
It was kind of crazy, as all of you can relate and expect. As of right now, my college is open, but they're going to move classes online a week from Monday. We have the option to stay on campus, but it looks like if you go home to take your classes online, then you're not allowed to come back. So I don't know.
For the whole
I'm leaning
semester?
towards staying on campus. What?
For the whole semester.
Until April 13th at the earliest, and
Okay.
then they'll extend it if they need to.
Wow. Okay.
That's
So, yeah.
that's crazy.
Quick public
It is
service
crazy.
announcement to our listeners. We hope everybody is safe during
Yes.
these
Yeah.
months.
Wash your damn hands.
Basically, do what you're supposed to do.
Do what you're supposed
already.
to do. I was something that really frustrates me about the coronavirus coverage. This is just a me thing. Is that like there is this impulse that I've seen in a lot of people to either act like it's a doomsday plague
Right. There's no in between.
or like I'm just gonna go lick a doorknob because I hate the media. Like
Right. It's
there's a middle ground here where like you don't have to buy 30 pounds of toilet paper, but also maybe wash your goddamn hands.
Spencer, can you do your Dr. Nuvo Vindi for us? Like a little bit, something, please.
The blue shadow virus.
Use saving knives. Use taking knives.
All right, Joel, how was your 8-day bender?
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah?
Yeah. So my birthday was the 10th, and went out with a bunch of buddies, and we went to a place called
O'Halligans.
Otis 12. It's a great place in Erie, Pennsylvania, and the wings are phenomenal. Shout out to them, that's for sure.
Oh, speaking of wings, now that he's back.
Oh yeah, what's
Oh no, not more hot sauce. So I just went on a trip for Habitat for Humanity over spring break down to South Carolina, and during that experience, I volunteered to the first night eat a Tabasco pepper. Now, for the listeners, I am a wuss when it comes to spicy
some
things.
would say a punk bitch.
Oh, it's really bad, and it's like sweet barbecue from Buffalo Wild Wings is too spicy. But anyway,
This kid had like a little dibble of the jalapeno ranch from Sheetz and went, "Ooh, that's really zesty." And I was like, "Dude, I drink this shit. Are you okay?"
So I stopped. So I ate a Tabasco pepper, which was great, and it hurt, but it was fine. And then the next day, I was challenged by some of my friends to try Da Bomb.
Of Hot Ones fame.
It's 135,000 Scoville units, and the Tabasco pepper was about 30,000, and that hurt a lot.
Yeah, and there's a whole science behind why Da Bomb is painful
Right.
and disgusting.
My ears were on fire. It went straight to my ears. Anyone know Chili Klaus, right? And he does the snapping, right? He's like, and then he puts his fingers in his ears. And I'm like, that was me. And that was from him having like a Carolina Reaper, and
Yeah.
this was me having Da Bomb.
I love that. I'm so sorry you did that to yourself.
There's a new wing joint behind the mall.
Is there?
Yeah, we're gonna take you someday.
I like
Oh yeah,
that.
once everybody's back in town, we are all going up, and yeah. So with that, real quick, the only big story we have this week is to review the final episode of this arc, of the Bad Batch arc, for season 7 of Clone Wars. Very excited to do that. But real quick, the only other little news story that broke is that Disney has released a bunch of its movies that were in theaters recently, early digitally. Because we're gonna need something to watch while we're all fucking quarantined. There's my one F-bomb. And also, I think that this may be a tactic to obfuscate money lost on Mulan.
Oh, did Mulan not do good?
Mulan got pushed back. Mulan is in the same class
Oh,
as
that
like
makes
Antlers
sense.
and No Time to Die.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think I mean, it makes sense. So like all of the behind the scenes documentary clips are floating around now, and I saw a couple that I just love watching Adam Driver talk about Kylo Ren. Is how into that he's just as into that character as I am. He's just like slightly less manic about
Probably
it.
a little less than you. I was gonna, yeah.
Just less manic. Like he gets very like he's like all of the behind the scenes interviews. He's like
I think, yeah.
all of the behind the scenes interviews. He's just very like in his psychology, and I love it. But yeah, you can all go watch the
Frozen 2.
Yeah, you can all go watch the mediocrity of Skywalker. Unfinished business.
Okay, the lightning stuff when people were getting
right.
shocked, that looked kind of goofy.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you listening.
Wow.
Find us
I
at-
want
you
a
had-
sound bite of that.
The shocking was a little bit, it looked goofy. But then again, I don't know, when you're getting shocked, you gotta look how you're gonna look.
Yeah. Spencer, how'd you feel about this episode, buddy?
I felt like they wrapped it up pretty well. If I were writing the story, I wouldn't have done it the way they did. But I'm not unhappy with it the way it was. I just think it could have been better. I think that there was not enough inner conflict with Rex's character. I feel like the best way to really push the limits of Rex as a character would have been for Echo to actually be a sleeper agent, and then for Rex to have to come to terms with that and deal with it. But as it stands, it's kind of great that Echo was able to, get some of his old life back away from the Separatists, and also be adopted in as a member of the Bad Batch. However, I will say that it's not totally out of the question that it could still happen, because even though we've been given a pretty straightforward breakdown of how the final season is going to go, like Dave Filoni is not stupid enough to put throwaway lines in his shows. Like when Wat Tambor says, like, we have to find a way to recoup on our investment. Like, there's got, like, if that's a throwaway line, I'm going to be real mad.
I honestly think it is.
Off.
I think it's just the Techno Union being very money oriented and like, well, that's a wash. Shit.
Yeah, that doesn't sound to me like they're going back after Echo.
Yeah, because a lot of the rest of the season is going to be very Ahsoka centric, which I know you're excited about.
Yeah.
By the way. No, but yeah, I agree, Spencer. I quite enjoyed it a lot. Mike, aside from your very personal qualms with the way Echo was electrocuted.
And Anakin was too, like the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was nice. I mean, it was all right. I'm a returnee. I'm a casual on Clone Wars. But I agree with what Spencer said. It would have been more fascinating to see what Rex would have done had Echo been like a sleeper agent. Like, because I thought he was going to go all weird in the, like, whenever he was like, yeah, I'm diverting all the troops down to the Foundry. So what? Like, I thought he was going to be like, and do something to them with his new droid arm, but he didn't. But it was always fun to see the trench scenes. I love that. I love him just. That was good.
See, I never thought for a second that Echo was a sleeper agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was no suspense for me, and I think they should have done that a little better. It's like the whole Bad Batch was freaking out. Oh, he's going to betray us. He's going to betray us. And he didn't.
It's very Clone Wars. It's very Clone Warsian. Is it like, if you do have a traitor in your midst, like, the music can't help it sounds scary every time they cut to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like Clone Wars has a habit of very, very plainly telegraphing that kind of thing. So I'm not surprised by that. I will push back on what you and Spencer are saying, Mike, in that, me personally, as far as like Rex's arc goes, and how he should or would respond to Echo potentially being a sleeper agent or some type of separatist plant. And granted, this is because I have the greater context of both Clone Wars and Rebels. For me personally, Rex's moments of like introspection and like putting Rex kind of out to dry emotionally all happened in Rebels. When he had to like, when we see him learning to come to terms with, I was able to get the chip out of my head. Almost everybody I know didn't. Almost everybody I knew became a genocidal maniac, and I have to live with the fact that I couldn't help all of my brothers. The 501st is literally the biggest arm of oppression the Empire has, and I help make them that way. So I don't necessarily need Rex to come to terms with Echo being lost, because I know Rex has a lot to deal with in the next 10 years.
I see.
So I can live with that. But again, that's as somebody who has watched all of Rebels.
Right.
So
The adoption of Echo into the Bad Batch also happened a bit too fast. Kind of like I was watching it on like fast forward.
yeah,
I think they could have slowed it down a bit. Maybe added in some other dialogue.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna walk off, and then he'd maybe like look back, and then like, it's gonna happen eventually. But like,
I say
thought, yeah.
you cut Mace Windu trying to negotiate with droids.
No, that was funny. That is the best Mace Windu has to offer in the whole franchise
I know,
right
that
now.
was such a flex. That was such a flex. I loved it. He was like, at this point in the war, I have destroyed over 100,000 of you assholes. Now get out of my way. And it was hilarious.
I think that would have been great. Hot take, as someone who loves Mace Windu as a character, but like in like an in-universe kind of way, really hates Mace Windu. I think they could not have picked a worse character for that scene than Mace, because when in the whole the Clone War is showing the fall of the Jedi and how they got to a really screwed up place philosophically. Mace Windu arguably became the most militant of the Jedi.
okay.
So I think it's
Oh, so
weird.
it would be bizarre that he's showing reserve at this point, because he's always.
This is the same guy who has no qualms with beheading the Chancellor.
But that's a good
diplomacy
point.
is a tactic in war.
Did he ever?
But they're robots. They're not dealing with you're not dealing with autonomous people who can consciously make a decision to go, I don't think I'm going to shoot him. They're already programmed to kill him.
No, they've been shown all the time to make their own choices.
That's the
throughout
thing
the
that's
Clone
weird.
Wars.
Like, why do they have to be communicating with each other over comlinks if they're droids? Can't they just send
I
freaking
don't
binary
know.
to each other?
The battle
Yeah,
droids
I
are
agree
so
with
weird.
that.
And you're absolutely right, Levi. And that's my problem, because I shouldn't be trying to delve into the battle droids. Because hell, we even had one this episode that goes, "Please, not the face."
Yeah.
You don't have a face. You don't have one. I don't understand why punching hurts you.
Have we had a Clone Wars episode where we have a homage to the original animated series where he just decimates that entire army on Dantooine?
Where he fist fights robots. And
That was
now,
the coolest
unfortunately-
thing ever.
Well, talking
Coolest,
about
so silent.
That's a tribute to Travis there.
yeah, he's not here today. Well, and talking about the micro series,
Yeah.
the Anakin in this episode was like big micro series Anakin energy, because he did not give a shit.
Oh, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
So I was doing some Googles because I haven't watched any of the episodes yet, and I was reading a review of the episode just so I could have some input. And apparently, the Anakin moment, quote unquote, was what all of the fans are like was the best.
He
part
does a
of the
murder.
movie. So you got to fill me in. What was the
Okay,
Anakin
so
moment?
you remember Admiral Trench? He's the spider separatist.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
He survived.
Yeah, well, he survived.
He
He
doesn't
just-
seem to survive.
Yeah.
He's like a tame Bane.
Not only did
talks
he-
like tame Bane.
Not only did he survive, he came back half droid. So
All right.
this is a
As
pattern.
one does.
Cyborg.
As one does. And they capture. So Anakin, the Bad Batch, and Rex go aboard Admiral Trench's
Dreadnought.
capital ship. Yeah, his dreadnought. And Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and then the 212th Attack Battalion are trying to seize this manufacturing compound on Anaxis is the name of the planet, right?
Anaxis Prime.
Yeah, it's
An
an
Axis?
Axis.
Okay.
Yeah.
And while they're down there, they take the facility because he basically got turned into a separatist supercomputer. Very complicated on that part.
All right.
Echo the clone trooper is basically able to like lure all the droids into one part of the facility and then shut them all off at once. And since Admiral
Which
Trench,
didn't really make any sense. It really wouldn't matter if you turn them off. You turn them off. I mean, right? Off's an off switch, right? Right.
yeah. But they also have to be there so Obi-Wan can make a snappy comment.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. Like again, it's just Star Wars silliness. It is what it is. It's not story breaking. But after they do that, Admiral Trench is like, "Oh, well, we can't lose this facility. Well, it's bad if we lose this facility. It's worse if the Republic takes it." So he resolves to set off a bomb he has planted in the reactor core of this compound.
All right.
And
that could potentially blow up like most of an Axis. They said so. This is
Yeah.
like a Krypton super weapon thing.
Yeah,
yeah. It was like okay.
They basically
all right.
planted a nuke to this place.
No, not like a nuke, like a freaking like Tsar bomb
A
times
super
12
nuke,
that
yeah.
will like crack the planet.
Some
Yeah.
white matter, if you will.
Yes.
Yes.
So the Echo is like trying to like plug himself into the computer and figure out how to defuse the bomb from there. And then Anakin's like, "Oh,
I bet Trench knows how to
I
do
bet
it.
Trench knows how to do it." So he goes running towards the command deck, which, like I said before we started, there's no way in hell that the second Anakin ran down that hole, he was like, "I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. I'm gonna
There's no way he's saying I'm taking any prisoners.
Yeah,
today.
he's like, I'm gonna take my lightsaber and poke him with it real quick. So Anakin gets on the command deck, fights a couple droids, and then like Admiral Trench is like all cybernetic and shit, and like Admiral Trench has like a electro net that he tries to shoot at Anakin. Anakin dodges it.
Because he's a spider.
Yeah,
You get it.
All right.
yeah. It's,
Itsy bitsy spider.
I hate the fact that like the moment I tried to say webs, I did like Spider-Man hands, but
I'm imagining,
Wish I didn't have.
like, from Monsters Incorporated, like
it is so not Mr. Waternoose, but I wish it was.
Sullivan,
Skywalker.
hey, that child.
Anyway, he misses. Anakin dismantles his droid guardians, and he's like, "All right, give me the password." And then Trench is like, "Nope." And then Anakin cuts off his droid limbs.
Well, I love the like
And
Anakin's
he's
little
like, "Give me the
speech.
password."
It's Anakin's
so
little
we're talking
speech.
torture now.
Yeah, he was like.
Anakin like makes jokes about it too.
He's going in like, you think I won't kill you? And he like has this crazy look in his eye. It's frightening.
because like Anakin's
Scared.
holding his lightsaber up to Trench's throat, and Trench is like, "You're a Jedi. You won't kill me. Your people are too noble to." And then Anakin's like, "Shut the hell up!" and just cleaves off half of his arms. And then Trench is like, "Ow!" Anakin's like, what was his problem? Like, I have no such weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then Trench like tells him how to disarm, and Anakin's like, "Okay, cool," and just stabs him and calls it a day.
No, that's not
No.
how it went.
No.
Trench tried to get the upper hand on Anakin.
Oh,
he
I
tried
forgot.
electrocuting him. That is
That's
what
right, I
led.
forgot.
Oh, that's right.
That's
You're
the
right.
direct lead up to Anakin turning around and killing the dude.
Yeah.
So on that end, are you guys in agreement with the general fan base on how amazing that was, or do you have like
Going off of this point in the war, I don't know how close we are to Revenge of the Sith just yet.
I mean, he's wearing the do. He's
At the
doing
very
do.
least, we are less than a year away from him becoming Darth Vader. This is par for the course. He also arguably, I forgot about Trench electrocuting him, Levi. He arguably did it in self-defense. But again, knowing the power differential there, he didn't have to kill Trench. That was a choice.
you just want
Why wasn't
Knowing Anakin now.
why wasn't it a problem? As far as killing people when he kamikazed into Trench's ship the first time.
Well, I don't think it's a problem so much as the fact that he definitely could have taken Trench prisoner on this one. I mean, and I'm not arguing like it's completely in character
What
for
did-
Anakin.
what did
If
Anakin-
Obi-Wan Kenobi did it, I think everybody'd be like, "What the hell was that?" But since it's Anakin, and the fact that he starts joking about it, and like that
It was
the one-
dark. It was like I've heard serial killers like
Okay,
in
it
TV
was-
shows be less screwed up like that.
It was dark until Trench clutched his chest and did the "What a world," and then fell over. And then Anakin's like, "It's been it's been a pleasure, Admiral," or something like that.
they tried to redeem his screwed upness with that comment,
Yeah,
but I'm like,
it's
no,
savage.
you didn't do that. No.
Yeah.
As
like
he's
that.
as he's jogging out the door, he's turning around to his like flailing body. Admiral Trench, It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, he tries to do like the old Anakin
walks
Clone
out.
Wars
Yeah.
thing, and
Right.
it's like that's not
Right.
You
no
just
more.
murdered a man in
No
cold
mas.
blood.
Yeah, no.
Not in cold blood.
Spencer, what'd you think of the big Anakin moment?
Cold blood is
I-
they're sleeping, you kill them.
I felt
Admiral
like
Trench
it
tried to-
was. I feel like the whole trench thing was it was useful in the sense that it's a helpful segue into episode 3 Anakin, who really does not have a quarrel with taking a life if he has to anymore. We've already seen angry Anakin, like especially with the stuff that went on with the Reiko Hardeen story arc and with Ahsoka
This is,
and her being,
yeah.
on trial for murder and
Her
conspiracy
framing,
and sabotage, blah,
And
blah,
the
blah.
Zygerian.
But like,
Oh yeah,
like
that's
we get
another
to,
one.
yeah, the Zygerians as well. Like we get to see him angry earlier in the series, but like he's at the point where he will take a life if he has to, and he won't even care. So I felt like for this early in the season, it was a good move. It was kind of like, I didn't like how Trench just kind of comedically flopped to the ground, like staggered around for a second.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me.
Just let the guy have a dignifying death.
No, 'cause
Despite
he's
the
a
fact
spider.
that everyone hates him, he's still an interesting character. Like, he's still got merits.
They're sticking with this theme of Admiral Trench is a spider. That's what spiders do. They fall on their backs and their legs crumple
Did
up.
did his legs crumple up?
Kinda.
Because he did fall on his back, but yeah.
Well, yeah, 'cause, yeah, like he's
I
like
do like that he's a
clutching the
spider. I
wound,
like
doing
that.
like the. It's like reaching out, like he's like going towards the light. Like, you're a war criminal. You're not going towards the light, buddy.
Anakin should have started singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider like in a really like soft, menacing tone, just to drive it all home.
No. You have no subtlety. You go full Spider-Man 2002 and go full green. The itsy bitsy spider lit up the water spout. Down came the goblin to take the spider out. Like, you gotta go full.
the Sith Lord to take
Yeah.
the spider.
You gotta go like full camp, full ham. Like, it's just Star Wars. There's not supposed to be any subtlety.
Oh my god.
But yeah, how did we feel about the Bad Batch arc as a whole? Spencer, I'll let you take this one first since you probably have to go soon.
Yeah, I'm going to have to bug out in a couple minutes. But as a whole, I felt
Bug
like it was a
out
good
like
start to
Admiral
the
Trench.
season. Yeah, it was a good start to the season. I definitely felt like the story arc got worse as we went on. Like, the first episode was really great, and it was like intense and it was suspenseful. And then the second one just kind of like not really so much. The third one was just like eh. And then like episode 4 was overall lackluster. I felt like they did in 4 episodes what they could have done in 2 or 3. Because like, if you look comparatively at how much worth you get out of a 4-episode story arc, always my go-to is going to be Umbara. Like, my takeaway from a 4-episode story arc like Umbara was incredible, like 10 out of 10. And my takeaway from Bad Batch is like a 3 out of 10. It's like, okay, that was interesting, but was it necessary? Not really, no. And if you're going to invest that much time in a single story arc, especially with a season as limited as this one in episodes, like, you have to make them count. And I don't really feel like episodes 2 through 4 made it count. Like, episode 1 was awesome. I'm right there with him. But it just kind of tapered off from there. And I think they have to keep it strong the longer you go. And like, the payout for a single story arc, the longer it goes, has to be greater and greater. I don't really think they did that. However, I still really liked it. So those are my thoughts.
I will say this much. Before realizing that this would be the last season and like taking other story arcs and adapting them to be the finale, there was originally, and I believe the story reels are out there, another arc involving the Bad Batch where the Bad Batch was serving on Kashyyyk at the beginning of the Battle of Kashyyyk. Like, long before, what about the droid attack of the Wookiees and they send Yoda? Like, long before that happened, like, the Bad Batch was like on the first wave of people to be serving on Kashyyyk. So we were going to get more with them. And I hope that we get Bad Batch like novels or a comic, because I'd like to see more of them, especially with Echo in tow.
Wish they'd hire more people to do the comics. It's like all the same art.
I
Well,
mean,
the art's
yeah,
the
it's meant to
same.
be cohesive.
But the old stuff was like, you had different.
Yes, because the old stuff contradicted itself. So
Not
it's-
all the
it's-
time.
Since
Not
there's
all
a
the
more
time.
cohesive canon, it makes sense to have a consistent art style.
No.
Nah.
Unity in craziness.
There's also, I will say this much: it was really jarring for a while because the main Star Wars comic had a very different art style from a lot of the other ones, where they tried to make it all photorealistic and it looked weird, especially when you'd have like two comics next to each other and it was like
Yeah, some of the-
it was like photorealistic shirtless Han Solo and then like a comic booky Darth Vader.
Yeah.
In the other comic, it was
Sometimes-
hard to make them work in the same universe.
When you want to get into people's heads and be like psychologically weird, like the Jordan Soul type thing in the Rebellion comic with Janik Sunbird, yeah, that can work. But other times it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Levi, what did you think of the Bad Batch arc?
I actually kind of agree with Spencer.
Yeah.
I think they could have done it in 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Bang,
More killer,
bang,
less
bang
filler.
for buck. There wasn't enough in this 4-episode arc for me.
Okay, you didn't think there's not enough what again? Sorry.
It's not enough bang for the buck.
Not
you
enough
know?
meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Okay, you mean like good storytelling, or do you mean like killing?
Like substance. Like there wasn't enough
mean,
of a storyline there.
Like episode
Okay.
3 was 17 minutes long.
So what I'm getting
Yeah.
from both you and Spencer is that if you guys were the showrunners for the Clone Wars, you would take episode 3, pepper a little bit at the end of 2, pepper a little bit at the beginning of 4, and have this be a 3-episode arc. Like the shit that matters,
think-
like the escape from
I think-
Skako Minor and shit.
Yeah.
I think you could remove the second half of episode 3 where they're fighting in the little village. You could cut that out, and I wouldn't miss it even a little bit. Give me that time in developing the uncertainty of Echo's
Yeah.
loyalties instead. That's where we need the time. It's cool to see the Bad Batch in action. It's cool to see them fighting, but we've seen enough of it where you can devote more attention, more time to like really leaning into the uncertainty of Echo's loyalty.
How does Crosshair's
like
bullet go through all of the droids?
That was great. That was cool. That was Star Wars. It's like cool shit.
I assume
Special bullets,
was
special space stuff.
special space stuff. I figured that like
Was that
Armor penetrating
introduced?
blaster.
well,
no,
I
it
think
was
I've
like,
seen that somewhere else. Like the little
I love that
discs.
thing. That was great.
Yeah, so the one
you
member of
don't
the
know.
Bad Batch is like this stereotypical gunslinger type, and he at one point there's like these droids coming down the hallway, and he put these little like metal charges all down the hallway, and then whenever the droids got into place, he fired at one of them, and then it just ricocheted all across the hallway, bouncing off of all the different metal
That was
things,
pretty cool.
and then going through all the droids. I would assume that like maybe like every time the blaster bolt hits it, it's like getting its energy back.
Yeah. It rotates. Yeah,
And it's like
like
something stupid.
It's
that,
like the blast shield in freaking the trash compactor.
Yeah,
I don't know
where
why the
it's-
hell you do that in a trash. Whatever. Okay.
Right.
Right. They have buku money to spend. The whole wall is like that.
Okay, this is the second time in 24 hours I've heard the phrase buku bucks. I've never heard that until yesterday. One of the old dude, this guy comes in, his name's Keith, comes in with literally a feather in his hat. He's there at noon on the dot, drinks Coors Light small draft for like 3 hours and then pisses off. He like offhandedly was talking about like, I don't understand why they're closing all this shit down in Pittsburgh. They be making buku bucks, and I was like, they're making what? And that's the second time I've heard it in 24 hours, and I'm gonna hear it for the rest of my life.
On that note, I gotta duck out, guys. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully I'll see you again next week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. Ahsoka's walkabout arc starts next week. Woo!
Oh, nice. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Bye,
See ya.
Spencer.
Later, bruv.
Stay away from the corona.
Love you.
Stay away. Yeah.
Actually, can I just say one more thing about this? Do you know how many college university parties there are this weekend that are corona themed? Like, I'm serious. This all happened. We got the email that classes were going on to remote learning, and everybody's like, all right, let's go party. Let's go spread the corona.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, stay safe out there. Don't do anything unnecessary to get yourself sick. What do all these dumb kids do? We're gonna get a shitload of corona because we can't help ourselves with this terrible pun.
Right.
We're gonna cram ourselves into one tiny space, so we're breathing right here with each other. How many of them are gonna smash? We're all gonna get decimated. We're gonna sweat and breathe and touch all over each other. A handful of us are gonna just get inside of each other.
This is what happens when people now have time.
Now there's
that's ironic.
That's what
You're sending
happens.
us all out into the world. We're gonna either start a revolution or we're gonna smash until we're like. That's what happened with Iran. Too many college students,
All
not
I'm
enough work.
saying is that if you go to a Corona theme party and you get sick and you die,
It's your
that was natural selection at its finest. And maybe
don't know,
your
but
sense
I
of
don't-
humor should be one step above the very easy Corona pun.
It's a
we
party.
must at least apologize. We're not making crude comments towards hoping people die at all.
No,
No,
of course
We're
not.
just sort of.
Even
It's
though
gallows
those comments
humor.
were
Yeah.
acceptable before it was spread outside of China for
Yeah,
whatever
you're
reason.
absolutely right.
What'd
yeah.
you say?
Like,
What'd you?
like those crude jokes were completely acceptable on social media and in the world when it was only the Chinese who were dying.
That's true.
But now that it's a little closer to home, oh, how dare you?
Yeah, I've always
My
been a
parents
believer.
could die. And like,
I've always been a believer of gallows humor. You know, like I don't. We were saying this in the chat the other day. Like, there's a difference between like. I think the only type of like specific coronavirus type humor that isn't above board and that is inappropriate would be like a very specific like. We're going to make this an excuse to make jokes about Chinese people, or something like that, or like finding an excuse to like make it a double-edged sword. But as it stands to like make dumb jokes about Corona or like make toilet paper and hand sanitizer jokes, that's completely different, and that's its own thing.
Yeah, then talking about people dying and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's all in the context of like
Right.
that kid who gets the coronavirus probably also got herpes and HPV while he was at it, so it's okay.
My last and
Hypothetical
final
kid.
PSA is that coming from an epidemiological standpoint, it's not always about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So if you do have it and you are asymptomatic and whatnot, it's not about you dying. It's about the people you might affect, the thousands, if not more, exponential number of people that you might affect.
yeah, because
So,
it is not just old people that
Yeah.
are at risk,
no.
even though they're the most at
Yeah,
risk.
anybody who's
Anyone who's-
immunocompromised.
Right.
Yeah.
Immunocompromisation.
The very young,
Yeah.
perhaps the pregnant.
There are millions, if not more, people who just are in the hospital sick with chronic conditions that are extremely susceptible to issues. And so we're just going to be cautious and be normal, considerate human beings and wash our hands.
Yeah.
Basically, do
Not
what
cough
you're
in other
supposed to
people's
do
faces.
in general,
Yeah.
You know what they didn't.
not just when.
This is not Star Wars related at all. We apologize.
No, we're
but-
trying to spread the word about the Blue Shadow virus.
Yeah, we're just looking after you.
Practice the hygiene you're always supposed to practice.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what they
Yeah,
did.
don't lick doorknobs. Don't be a dipshit.
I saw
Anymore. Don't
some
lick 'em anymore.
statistic, and I really hate using just statistics in general because you don't know who was polled. But
Right.
like only 1 in 6 of the people polled actually wash their hands after using the bathroom.
What sick shit. Nice. Yuck.
We live in a society.
In a society, that's it.
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
And you know what? Talking about living in a society, to quote our American hero, the Joker. And I'm going to double dip on my F-bomb. And when you don't wash your hands, to quote the movie, you get what you fucking deserve. I'm kidding again, but wash your hands.
I think you posted that on Facebook at one point or another. You shared that on Facebook, that line.
Yeah, because it's hilarious.
I saw
and
that.
it's so hammy.
I definitely laughed.
And it's so hammy
Also,
and
I
silly.
laughed way too much last night.
Yeah. Also, tonight at the St. Patrick's party we're going to, after you've had a couple, I want you to say epidemiological a couple times for me.
Okay, epidemiological.
Yes.
with some happy juice in you.
Right.
Oh my god.
Naturally.
You know what they did at Manfort?
What?
They got a pinata. They wrote coronavirus and COVID-19 on it and smashed the hell out of it. Like, God bless them. They're
The kids are all right.
Yeah.
The kids are all right.
They know how to deal with it. They're
Tea party.
great. I didn't even get that idea. I think I'm gonna bring a pinata back to school when we go back.
Man and woman Fort have calmed down after you left.
No, on contraire, no.
know
They've gotten even weirder. They've gotten smarter.
Yeah,
I'm very
it's
proud
gotten
of them.
weirder. This is totally a slice of life segment. It's not that it's gotten calmer. It's just that it's gotten quieter.
It's gotten more
but way
Dark Plagueis-y,
stranger.
more
It's
insidious,
gotten way
literally.
stranger.
Well,
Like,
you remember how I reacted every single year. How pissed off I was at you guys.
this is great slice of
absolutely-
life material. We were wasting it on nights. This is great slice of life material.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Yeah,
From
okay.
what I
We'll have to
hear,
bring it
there's
up.
no anger. There's no.
No, there's no war, but it's become
Yeah.
a
I
cult.
wish there was war. There
All
should
right.
be
Well,
war.
I'd rather have peaceful cults than
So the title
bunch
of this
of
episode
asshole
is going to be
kids.
They're not asshole
breaking
kids. They're
Star
getting it
Wars
all
stuff,
out. It's a
and then
party.
I was
plus
talking about you. People.
bonus slice
What?
of life.
It was fun. We did great. We did the right thing. We did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong.
I agree. The
This
women
is your
were in the
bonus
wrong.
slice of life track.
Yeah, just a little bit of. This
Little
is a
taste.
teaser of the
Yep,
manic
okay.
insanity that is slice of life.
This is going up for us tomorrow, Sunday at 8 a.m. And the slice of life is going up within the next hour or two. So
Within the next
sorry,
hour or two
Campus
of us
Life,
recording this, yeah.
Campus Life. So if you're listening to this,
This
find
is
it on
what
the
it feels
website
like,
because
yeah.
it's already up there. Campus Life, our
I already forget what we talked about.
new
in Campus
show.
Life.
And if you're feeling so kind, you will get Campus Life a little bit early if you donate to our Patreon.
yes.
It'd be greatly appreciated if you did. Because making stuff means using money.
Unfortunately.
We sounded like Arthur Fleck.
Unfortunately, it does cost money
that what
to
you
run
said?
the website and
Yeah.
run the feed and all that. So everything surely helps. And if you donate, you will get exclusive content on top
Early
of
content, not quite exclusive yet. Yeah.
Well, we're working towards a bunch of different things,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
can
yeah,
find
yeah.
all the tiers on our Patreon channel and whatnot there. So that's the plug.
With that, Mike, where can the lovely people find you?
For me at Darth Id 415 on Twitter. It's fun. Reach out.
Yeah.
Memes, games, movies. Yeah.
Everybody tweet at Mike with your deepest philosophical questions that you have. He will answer them in no short terms.
Yeah. Follow Jurgen Moltmann also on Twitter. Follow Jurgen Moltmann. That's all I'm going to say.
Levi, where can the lovely people find you?
Were we talking about something before we derailed? I don't
About-
think we finished it.
Yeah, we didn't finish what I thought of it. Did we?
Did we?
I don't think.
Holy shit, this is bad. I didn't even weigh on what I thought about the Bad Batch arc. I liked
They can
it.
find me.
Yeah.
I really liked Wrecker.
Twitter.
I loved Wrecker being happy. This is the greatest day of my life.
Day of my life.
I liked this arc, and I thought it got better with every episode, but I'm clearly in the minority on that one. Also, very strange character moment for Mace Windu. Where can they find you? Did you say it? I'm sorry.
I'm
is a
on
hot
Twitter,
mess.
Professor Levi, but my @ seems to be just all lowercase Levi_bomb. Don't know why. Joel, where can they find you?
They can find me two places, Bass and Bacon Cosplay on Instagram, as well as my photography Instagram, JBasonBack Photography, where you can find my autistic ability.
He said artistic.
Yeah, he said artistic. The accent really didn't work for that word,
Not that
Joel.
there's anything wrong with it.
No, yeah, but you just that.
Sorry. That was really.
This is
We're not
what I
laughing
get
at
for
the concept,
sitting with
we're-
crude people.
It sounded like we're laughing at the fact that we can tell that's not what you meant to say.
Autistic.
It's not an autism joke. It's a Joel has issues with the English language joke.
How about this? Buenos dias y cuídense. That's
Joel takes really pretty pictures. Go look at them. You're gonna ask me where they can find me, Joel?
Where can the lovely people of this lovely audience find you there, Jared?
Drinking game for this episode. Take a shot every time Joel just kind of shits out of his word hole. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552. You can find the Nerd Academy on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com. And again, if you're feeling generous and you'd like to help us grow our little project here and help us make more content for you lovely people, chucking a buck on our Patreon, where we have all of our tiers listed out so that you can donate at a level you are comfortable with and would like to. With that, thank you for listening. We are honored that you have joined us, and may the Force be with you always.
Class dismissed.